Hey everyone, my name is Anthony Cofrancesco from brainyflights.com, and today I'm going to be answering the very common question of when should you cancel a credit card? So, this happens to the best of us. Sometimes you get a credit card and then after time, whether it's intentional or unintentional, that card doesn't suit your needs anymore and then you're thinking about actually canceling the credit card. So one thing that you want to keep in mind anytime you're applying for a new credit card is that anytime you cancel a card, it's going to do a negative thing to your credit score. And the reason why is that one of the big factors that's taken into consideration with your credit score is the length of account history, right? So if I go and get my first credit card and I get it 5 years ago and I keep that card for 5 years, my length of account is going to be 5 years. But let's say I have a card for 5 years, then I get another one, 2 years later, and so now you're going to take an average of those two numbers, and that's going to be your new length of accounts. But let's say I've got the card from 5 years, I've got the card from 2 years, and then for whatever reason, the 5-year-old card, it's not really floating the boat anymore, I don't really want it, and then so I decide to get rid of that card. What's going to happen is all of that 5 years you built up with your credit history, with your making your payments and having that credit card as an active card on your account, as soon as you get rid of that card, that history is gone, right? So now the next newest account you have is the card that's 2 years old. So what I always recommend to people is try as hard as you can to not get cards that you don't plan on keeping forever, right? So for these, I like cards that are going to have no annual fee, cards that are going to have an annual fee that pays for themselves, or cards that are just really very valuable in terms of earning. So let's say though you actually get to the position that you want to get rid of the card, you want to cancel the credit card, what do you do? Well, a couple of things. First thing is, before I ever cancel a card, I will get on the phone with the credit card company and then I will tell them that I'm going to cancel. The reason that you want to do this is because anytime there's a company and they have a fear of losing a customer, they'll send you over to their reconciliations line. So that's essentially they're going to transfer you to a different department, and those people the only job that these people have is to try to retain you and try to keep you as a customer. So a lot of times what's going to happen is if you say, hey, I've got my Southwest Airlines credit card, it's really not doing it for me anymore, I'm thinking about canceling and getting a different card, they'll say, wait. Before you go, we'll give you 5,000 bonus miles if you just keep the card for another year. And so sometimes before even canceling the card, you can get a nice little bonus that'll either incentivize you to stay, hopefully in the end. Now, if you really want to be clever about this, I do this for pretty much every product in my life on a pretty much annual basis. I'll call them and tell them, whether that's my cell phone company, whether that's my credit cards, I'll just get on the phone and I'll tell them that I'm planning on canceling my service just to get these added bonuses every year. I mean, why not? So that's rule number one. Before you cancel, make sure you call and see if you can get anything from the reconciliations line or the customer retention line. Now, the next thing you can do before you actually cancel a credit card is you can downgrade the card. So this tends to be really good because you don't lose out on all of that account history, right? So in that earlier example when we had that card for 5 years, if you go and you downgrade the card, then you typically are going to be able to keep that history. So a great example of this is if you have the Delta Gold Sky Miles card that has a $95 annual fee, you've had the card for a while and you say, well, I don't really want the Delta Gold card anymore. Before you cancel, what you can do is you can call American Express and ask them if they can downgrade you to the free version of that card. That way you can still keep that history active, and now instead you're not paying an annual fee. So either downgrade to a lower or a no fee version of that exact same card, right? That'll help you out. In the end of the day, if you actually want to cancel, you actually want to get rid of the card, maybe you just got the card for the express purpose of getting that sign-up bonus, it's totally fine. I've done that. All I can say is cancel sooner rather than later so that you're not building out this huge history. And then keep in mind, your credit score is going to drop just by a few points. And then I would say after about 3 or 4 months, it should be about at that level that it was before you ended up canceling the card. So it's really not a huge deal to cancel a credit card, but it is definitely something that you want to minimize and do as infrequently as possible. So if you like that video, please give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions, let us know down in the comment section below, and then also subscribe to this channel for more helpful videos in the future. Thanks so much, and have an awesome day.